It is time for an emotional beatdown on the snowflakes. You can have your opinion, it doesn't erase the facts. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Jeffrey, we're going to have you read the email that set this in motion. The post, just go back to yesterday's post on my Instagram page. But Jeffrey can also give you a feedback on, well, let's wait on this thing. Actually, no, let's give it to you, Jeffrey. I'm going to have you read this bad boy so they can catch up to speed on this and show you, first off, what you took away from the post relevant to what was said. Hit it, brother. Let me give you that. Let me read that bad boy.
Yeah, you want that.
Give me that thing.
Check this out. Yeah, I'm 250, by the way, guys. Big question is, how many athletes, bodybuilders do you know of that have been in the game from the early 80s that still look like they're pics right now? Name one.
Pics or pinnacle?
That look like they're pinnacle right now. Name one. Since I was a kid, I knew I wanted to accomplish great things in life, I'd have to do it differently. It's why I live the lifestyle of longevity completely. I'll tell you right now, a majority of you will chop it up to genetics. But let me ask you this.
Steady hands.
In that case, you just said I'm the only man in history with good genetics from the 80s. If it's genetics, then how am I changing so many around the world and getting them into great shape when they thought they peaked 10 years before? You've heard me repeatedly say this. You want to be a champion for a day or a champion for a lifetime? Mike O'Hearn. And I'll keep saying this over and over again. I've been studying successful practices. I took what worked from those practices and threw away what didn't. Over time, I added more tools to my tool belt, hoarding this knowledge. I studied it. I realized it wasn't about doing it over and over till I got it right. It was about doing it over and over again till I can't get it wrong. I want you to leave today knowing this. Life is the long game. The goal is to do less, but to do it in a way where we accomplish more. By following this mentality, I was able to build the life I wanted. I want the same for you. I want you to continue getting better day in and day out, decade after decade. Then listen up. Stop what you're doing, go to my story, swipe up, and let's get you inside the Private Titan crew.
Cool. So what should be taken away from the post? Well, I outlasted everybody. It's kind of a cool thing. I got to be a superhero for 40 years and in pinnacle shape to where I'm one of the few guys that are still, and to this day, one of the top 5 guys, guest posing around the world. That means on stage, showing the physique at the pinnacle level that it's ever been. Key point, because that's a fact. Next thing, there's some knowledge I picked up, not just from myself and testing it, but from all these experts, these Jedi masters that I've worked with over the years and picked up things from them to share to you. So a lot of cool stuff. How can we do this? Let's get you there. Let's get you so you can be in better shape with or without genetics, in the best shape of your life. That's what the post is about. The credential part of it, the fact, the undisputable fact is that there's nobody. Well, here's the downside. Anytime you say you're the best at something, snowflakes complain, they cry. They're so miserable that they go, no. I can name somebody. Okay, you already lost. Because it's just the facts. There is nobody you can name. Most of you guys named a guy that started in the early 90s. 10 days, 10-year difference. 10 years. So I'd love to see you guys hold that and maintain just 10 years. When you're 30, I want to see if you look the same at 40. If you're 20, do you look the same at 30? When you're 40, do you look the same at 50? No, none of you will. Because you're snowflakes and you got that mentality that you age and just deteriorate. The point is, I got so much knowledge here to give you, but you guys flipped it. You took the one aspect of it, the fact aspect of it, and go, no, there's somebody. There's nobody. It's not even a question. On top of that, the guys that you mentioned that were in the 90s that came up and that are still here today, at no point will they tell you that they kept their strength the same level as I did. I was strong fucking 40 years ago and I'm still strong today, the same level. None of them will say it. You can ask them, call them up, have a debate with him, have Kenny KO call him, or Godfrey call him. Any of them. Nick Best. Nick Strong, I don't know what that guy's
Strength
name.
and power.
Strength and power. Have him call him. None of them will say how strong they were in the late 80s or mid 80s, or there's still that strength today. It's not. They're not. So the point is that there was a 40-year span that somebody did something. Well, you guys want to argue the point instead of getting the benefit from it. Again, you may have your opinion. It doesn't erase the facts. It just makes you look like a bitch, a snowflake, a baby that wants to complain about it because you're not at that level, or you can make statements like that. So don't set it up to fall down, which you just did. What we're gonna do is give you the information. Now that's a small percentage of you guys that can actually just digest this. They can suck this knowledge up and go, he's just making a point of his credentials of what he's done that nobody else has done. There's got to be something there to learn. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate the banter that was on the page. Again, go over, have fun with it, enjoy it. But for all of you trying to think up names, also don't bring people like Gary Stridham. Don't bring up people like Rich Gaspari. Don't bring up people like Leo Brada. These are great men, great men. And they were incredible in the 80s. They were the very best in the 80s and in the early 80s. But they're not at the pinnacle level and look the same as they did then. Not even Dorian Yates, and somebody said that. Again, the point is the consistency of looking the same, physique-wise, strength-wise, nobody did, and also healthy-wise and youthful-wise. Again, you can bring up guys from the 90s or even the 2000s. Facially, they don't look that healthy. So, again, you guys got to stop fighting what the credentials are. Your snowflake personalities of this, you hurt my feelings because you said something. I don't give a shit. It's your opinion. That's fine. You don't like it? Cry. That's what you're doing. But the facts are the facts. And the knowledge is here. But again, you guys keep talking shit. My team blocks you. And you won't learn anything. And you'll continue to be a snowflake and accomplish nothing. That is it for today. Thank you for joining us. Whew. Cardio time. Someone's getting sliced.
Mike, why are you out of breath?